Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be reacting to the passing of Takeoff, which was actually my favorite Migo. Um, it's very sad, very suspicious. So,
For discharging firearm. Says 5 shots fired downstairs, from downstairs outside near 2004. The people next door are calling in about discharging firearms.
Now to that developing story right out of Houston, rapper Takeoff, best known for being a member of the Grammy Award-winning group Migos, has died.
October 31st, 2022. Halloween was about to become even more scarier and gorier than anyone expected. Hours before, what turned into a deadly altercation, 2/3 of the polarizing hip-hop collective Migos was high off the release of their recent collaborative album, Only Built for Infinity Links. Kershnik Kari Ball, known by the rap moniker Takeoff, and Quavious Keate Marshall, known by the rap moniker Quavo, was the nephew-uncle duo forming a new group while the trio worked out some recent kinks in their family relationship.
I just feel like we want to see our career as a duo, you know what I'm saying? Because, we just came from a loyal family that's supposed to stick together. And, sometimes it don't work out. It ain't meant to be, so.
The night began with Takeoff, along with Quavo, paying a visit to their regular jeweler, Johnny Dang.
Johnny.
Surveillance footage shows the duo entering the store.
That man is rich.
Takeoff in a plain white t-shirt and black pants. The intentions that night were to check out some new jewelry pieces and get some of their own cleaned before heading out on a big night planned ahead.
Johnny Dang says his spot is always a stop for the
Look at that
group.
furniture.
Whenever they go to Houston, he just stop by, hanging out, and buy some new stuff.
He says Takeoff and Quavo stopped by to get some jewelry cleaned and to check out a couple new pieces.
So he just said right there on Monday night. Takeoff is the one very, very quiet.
Takeoff gives a welcome handshake and embrace to the hip-hop king of bling, not knowing that would become one of the last people who would see Takeoff alive. Takeoff and Quavo from there would head out, meeting up with some friends to make their way to a private party that was scheduled that night at the 810 Billiards and Bowling in Houston Center off San Jacinto Street and Dallas Street.
Texas.
Video footage shared by what is alleged to be affiliates connected to the Mob Ties Rap-A-Lot music label and organization shows Takeoff along with Quavo in their company in the vicinity of 5th Ward, Houston, according to the location tag. In that moment, signs were present as to what was awaiting to transcend later on that night. On the seat sitting right next to Quavo was a handgun, which was jokingly talked about by the men present, saying, "We got a little bit of a straightening going on," meaning for any problems that needs to be solved or ironed out, the firearm will be providing that solution.
Got that big old boxer back there.
Hey man,
Got that heavyweight back there.
don't think we playing.
Thank you, man.
Don't think we playing, man. Hey man, we got a little bit of straightening going on. Yeah.
This was hours before a firearm would ironically be the weapon that was discharged, causing the tragedy that took Takeoff's life. Unaware of what was about to happen, the night continued, leading up to the party rumored to have been hosted by Jay Prince Jr., son of the notorious individual and alleged underworld boss of Houston, Jay Prince. As usual with majority of A-list artists, Quavo showcased moments of his life that night to his fans via his Instagram page. Takeoff could be seen with a couple of friends from earlier when he was in the 5th Ward area. The crew now riding in the red vehicle, handgun still in the open on the seat as Quavo captured the moments towards the party. In a part of the footage, Quavo can be heard saying, "We got the birthday boy with me," hinting that the party they were on the way to attending was as a celebration for his life. However, notice, even though the duo is heading to the same venue, Takeoff isn't present in that particular vehicle. Maybe Takeoff had somewhere else to be first and went in his vehicle to return. Or maybe his introverted and drama-free instincts led him to not want to be in the vehicle where an exposed pistol was just lying around on the seat. It was all fun and games as far as they were concerned. The night was about to be nothing but a good time with good people that they considered friends and fans. That was about to change. At about midnight, the private party was going as planned. Images surfaced of everyone around a table with money on top, presumably enjoying a fun round of dice. Takeoff would share a post to his Instagram story with the pic of him with the song "Stop Breathing" by Playboi Carti. Looking back, it was an ominous sign for the event that was about to happen. The party ended at around 2 a.m., November 1st. The crowd was outside hanging around, probably reminiscing on the fun time on the entire event. However, an argument would later break out involving Takeoff's uncle, Quavo. Video footage pieces together what might have led to the altercation. At the beginning of the footage, one person can be heard shouting about disrespect, which gives the impression that the entourage of Takeoff and Quavo has directly or indirectly offended the person or persons on the other end, or it was the other way around. After a heated back and forth, Quavo can be heard saying, "Hey, let's go, or I'm finna hurt somebody." At this point, it appears Quavo took the high road, realizing that the situation was escalating and would end in someone being hurt, or worse yet, losing their life. But it was too little, too late. It was right around 2:35 a.m. As the rapper turned and walked away. About a second later, a gunshot sounded off, followed by a round of other shots that sent the crowd scattering in a panic. 3 persons were injured in the attack, but one was unresponsive, lying in a pool of blood on the floor. Takeoff was on the opposite end of some of those bullets and was hit in his head, torso, and arm, ending his life at the scene.
One day after Migos rapper Takeoff was killed, his cause of death has been confirmed. According to the Harris County Coroner's report obtained by E! News, Takeoff died from, quote, penetrating gunshot wounds of head and torso into arm.
The next couple of minutes was complete pandemonium, and his uncle Quavo had to bear witness to losing his nephew, while there was nothing he could do, and the remaining crowd looking on. The news soon engulfed social media and news stations worldwide. The prolific member Takeoff of the rap group Migos has passed.
Now to that developing story right out of Houston, rapper Takeoff, best known for being a member of the Grammy Award-winning group Migos, has died.
Security guards in the area informed law officials that the gunshots were heard, but they weren't around where the altercation happened. Patrons all dispersed from the scene as investigators sought answers through neighboring surveillance footage that might have captured witnesses and the altercation.
Right now, we don't have a whole lot of information. We know it happened somewhere around 2:35. There were some security guards that were in the area, but they heard the shooting, but no one saw who did the shooting. A lot of folks were there. They were in front of the bar. The bar was actually closed at the time. They had the doors locked, but people were congregating out on the balcony area, and everybody fled. We've got some video footage, but not very well. Everybody fled.
The hip-hop community was in mourning, leading some, like Designer, to break down in tears online, denouncing his career path and allegedly calling it quits to being a rapper.
Why? Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Why do we fucking do it? It's done. It's done. Y'all took Takeoff, bro. It's done. Y'all wanted it. It's over. Y'all wanted it? It's over.
Others like Boosie and Master P gave their condolences and expressed their disappointment in the state of hip-hop with how many rapper homicides occur on a regular basis.
Shaking my head, man. You sending some prayers and love for y'all niggas. All Takeoff family, Quavo, Offset, all y'all. Badass Music Syndicate want, send their prayers out. It's whack, bro. I ain't lying.
Rest in peace to Takeoff. My condolences goes out to Takeoff family, Quavo, man, all my soldiers and soldier reps. Hip-hop has turned to the new streets. We used to be in the streets trying to get in the hip-hop game, which is crazy.
The internet became flooded with posts paying respects to the fallen Migo, and all depict Takeoff as a quiet guy with a big heart that always stayed out of drama and always showed love. Since then, it has been a priority by law enforcement along with the entire hip-hop community, his friends and family, to find the motive and suspect who took his life. It wouldn't take long for rumors to emerge stating that the incident occurred after a fallout over a dice game. A woman with the Twitter handle @TriracialAngel2 would post online to clear up the dice game rumors involved in Takeoff's passing. In a picture, she was seen right next to Takeoff with the crowd, which made her an eyewitness able to clarify what might have happened. According to her account of what happened, Takeoff wasn't involved in any of the altercation. In her words, he was the coolest, quietest in the room the whole time, wasn't saying a word, just chilling in the cut. He didn't even know what was going on. He just jumped up and got shot out of nowhere. She went on to say that his uncle, Quavo, was in a verbal altercation with someone over something small when one thing led to another and shots began ringing out, passing even more tragic. According to her, someone in Takeoff and Quavo's entourage was shooting wildly and hit Takeoff in friendly fire. Then the opposing side returned fire and Takeoff may have been hit again by them. However, saying it was allegedly one of their own people that fired the shot, accidentally killing Takeoff. Although she wasn't able to pinpoint faces of the person who pulled the trigger, reports from investigators seemed to match or give credit to the scenario she stated. According to findings, there were at least 2 weapons firing off at the scene of the crime. The revelation has since been branched off into more theories on who was the alleged person in his entourage firing the shots and who was the person on the opposite end firing back. Many speculate that the incident has something to do with their mob ties affiliation, as video clips pointed out that Jay Prince Jr., who hosted the party, and members of his entourage who were with Quavo and Takeoff for the night just casually walked and went on their way, leaving Takeoff lifeless on the floor. Strangely enough, the young lady who spoke on what occurred ended her message stating that Houston is about to be a no-fly zone because the mob is supposed to be protecting these artists. It appears the homicide of Takeoff may run deeper than on the surface, involving affiliations that has ties to the underground crime world. Blurred footage images showing persons of interest have been released to the public to aid in finding those responsible.
Police are interested in talking to. TMZ released footage that shows an unidentified man standing near rappers Quavo and Takeoff with a gun in his pocket. This was while Quavo got into an argument with someone over a dice game. A scuffle starts. Then you can see that same man with that gun.
Myself.
Everything has been deemed speculation until official investigations are complete. You played a major role in shaping the culture of hip-hop and inspiring a number of artists to chase their dreams and find success in the music industry. Rest in peace, Takeoff.
That was absolutely crazy. Sad. Smells a little fishy. But if you will, subscribe, like, hit that notification bell.